Well, Denison Mines announced an acquisition of Skyharbour Resources this week for its uranium project in Russell Lake, Saskatchewan. It's adjacent to Denison's flagship Wheeler River project. Here to talk more about the acquisition and its long-term plans is David Cates, CEO of Denison Mining. David, thanks very much for joining us.
Roger, my pleasure to be on.
How does this fit in with your plans?
Well, look, our company's laser focused on our development project, the Phoenix project on our Wheeler River property. And we're very close to being permitted federally and provincially and expect to be making an investment decision in the beginning of 2026, which will make us one of Canada's newest mines and certainly the newest uranium mine in over a decade. But with that on the horizon, our job is to look beyond the short term and into the long term. And so we do have a focus on our other development assets and exploration for the long run. And so this transaction with Skyharbour is a really unique partnership. We've been invested in Skyharbour for many years. And what we're doing in this transaction is we're purchasing an interest in a number of newly created joint ventures with Skyharbour that will come out of the Russell Lake property that Skyharbour just recently consolidated full ownership in from Rio Tinto. And now we'll have 4 different joint ventures with Skyharbour where we're purchasing an initial interest in these different joint ventures and then have an option to deploy a significant amount of exploration spending on particular 2 of them to be able to increase our interest up to 70% on those 2 claims. So the notable part here is that Russell Lake and the joint ventures that are falling out of this project are adjacent to our flagship Wheeler River property, where we are on the cusp again of having our permits in hand to execute on the Phoenix project.
And with those 4 different parts and 4 different percent, why the different percentages ownership for each one?
Yeah, great question. Russell Lake is a very large land package that Skyharbour has invested in over the last few years. It's exceptionally large, and by splitting it up into 4 different JVs, we really believe that we can maximize the attention that the projects and the targets need. You'll have Skyharbour operating on multiple of these joint ventures. We'll be participating, and then you'll have Denison operating on particularly the Wheeler North joint venture. And so it's really a matter of putting both teams to work and maximizing our joint exposure to discovery. These uranium deposits in Saskatchewan are incredibly rich, but because of that, they're also very difficult to find. High grades come with small footprints. And so we really do like the idea of maximizing the attention that each part of this really large land package requires and deserves.
And just looking for a bigger picture at the moment, how is the uranium sector looking right now? It must be fairly optimistic for you.
Well, I've been in this industry now approaching 20 years, and we've obviously seen ups and some prolonged downs. I can tell you that right now the sentiment is as positive as I've ever seen. You don't have to look very far to see excellent positive news developments for nuclear energy deployment globally. It's not just about clean energy or the energy transition. It's often about energy sovereignty, taking a reliance off nations that are maybe not your preferred partners. And so we do see an incredibly positive story brewing on the demand side. And of course, in economics, we also have to think about the supply side. And owing to that very long and difficult period of time that we had with very low prices, where we saw the best mines in the world have to shut down over the last decade, I can tell you that supply is also in a vulnerable place. And many projects that have tried to restart have struggled. And there are very few excellent top-tier projects in the pipeline. We of course, promote our Phoenix project because it does have the potential to be one of the lowest-cost uranium mines in the world, but it is an outlier. The majority of new supply, much of which will be required to balance the market in the long run, is in jurisdictions where grades are low, costs are high, and risk is high. And so, the ability for supply to meet that demand that's growing is actually going to be quite challenging.
Okay, David, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
David Cates is the CEO of Denison Mining.